Please do not send hate to any individual or brand mentioned in this video. The following is for entertainment purposes only and is not legal advice. You are now watching a PNSOSI vodcast film.
Being my own fan was the biggest cloud I ever loved. These people with they book and they fake love. Always posters looking for some validation. I don't feel late, ain't got no time for no complications. Sometimes I'm in my feelings, staring at the ocean, viewing niggas I be rolling with like them what's gotten into you. Shit bro, I'm good, missing my mama on the daily, having visions about what happened when that time coping not save me. Just hoping I can save me, cause soon as they try it.
Facts ain't defamation.
Hey everyone, welcome to my page, Life is the Mcbrayers. But today, this is a motherfucking crime vlog, okay? Real crime cases with PNSOSI, baby. The one and only, baby. The one and only. I hope everyone is doing good, and I hope that you guys have your seatbelt strapped, because this car about to swerve, do donuts, take you on a roller coaster. We about to go on some gravel bumpy roads. Like, it is about to get real. Now, this crime vlog that I'm talking about today is about a 30-year-old woman who was originally from Clinton, Oklahoma, but resided in Lawton, Oklahoma. Now, we have so much to cover, guys, so I am going to be doing a voiceover with all of the information about Priscilla with real case information attached to it. Now, I will come back into the video and interact with you guys, but just bear with me and strap up tight, because shit is about to get real, okay? Priscilla Janel Mcbrayer, 30 years old, was dealing with bankruptcy before her death in January 4th of 2006. Now, this here is just proof with her handwriting, what it looked like. You know, she decided to send in a statement to the judge asking for leniency because she had so many things to take care of, including a minor. Now, fast forward, she has a vacation coming along July 29th through August 4th. She has some very beautiful handwriting. I know, right? But this is where things get really, really hectic, okay? And they go downhill really quickly. So this next clip that you're going to be looking at here is the suicide letter that the county stated that she wrote as to why they ruled it as a suicide. And you also see the officer's name on the side, Tidwell, Kenneth Tidwell, who worked the case. And, you know, we're going to get more deeper into that as we go in through this video. Now, it was said that Priscilla was very sweet and loving and caring and did everything she could for her child. She stayed to herself. She didn't bother anyone. You know, it was just, everyone loved her. So now this next clip you're looking at, here is the actual phone number of Priscilla Janel Mcbrayer at the bottom, and at the top is the phone number that the Custer County District claimed that Priscilla Mcbrayer actually called in, you know, to ask for help, stating that she couldn't breathe. But these are two different phone numbers. This was not her phone number at the top that they stated was her phone number. The phone number at the bottom was her actual phone number. In fact, she even wrote her name and phone number on all her jackets and stuff. She was really old school. But she stayed to herself, and, you know, she was very sweet. She did everything that she could for her child. You know, she loved her child. She really didn't have many friends. She just surrounded herself with family. Now, we're going to go ahead and get into this a whole lot deeper, okay? So don't even worry if you feel like I didn't cover anything, because we're about to do that shit right now. Let's talk about it. Hello. Hi,
Yeah.
is this Michael Murley?
Who's calling?
Hi, this is Dejan. I'm calling from NWU in New York City. I'm a journalist. I was just calling to see if you could answer a couple of questions for me. Do you have the time?
What's it about?
Well, we're actually working on an article about this woman named Priscilla Mcbrayer. It looks like she was found hanging from her rearview mirror in her car on Old Route 66 Road. Do you have time to answer a couple of questions?
Okay.
Okay, awesome. So when this individual was found, um, I just want to know, was she hanging from her rearview mirror, or was she just like tied to, the headrest of the seat that you remember?
Honestly, I don't think I worked that case. I think that was out of my jurisdiction in Custer County.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry. We were looking, for all resources to see if they could give us any information or any clues about the case. And it looked,
Remind me where it happened at?
it says this happened in Clinton, Oklahoma.
You have an address?
No, the only thing that I was able to find on the internet was that it happened on Route 66 Road, like old Route 66 Road or some sort like
That did
that.
not happen in the city limits of Clinton, so I did not work that case.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Fucking lying bastard.
Hello.
Hello. Hi,
Yeah.
hi, is this Michael Murley?
Who's calling?
Hi, this is Dejan. I'm calling from NWU in New York City. I'm a journalist. I was just calling to see if you could answer a couple of questions for me. Do you have the time?
What's it about?
Well, we're actually working on an article about this woman named Priscilla Mcbrayer. It looks like she was found hanging from her rearview mirror in her car on Old Route 66 Road. Do you have time to answer a couple of questions?
Okay.
Okay, awesome. So when this individual was found, I just want to know, was she hanging from her rearview mirror, or was she just like tied to, the headrest of the seat that you remember?
Honestly, I don't think I worked that case. I think that was out of my jurisdiction in Custer County.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry. We were looking, for all resources to see if they could give us any information or any clues about the case. And it looked,
Remind me where it happened at?
it says this happened in Clinton, Oklahoma.
You have an address?
No, the only thing that I was able to find on the internet was that it happened on Route 66 Road, like old Route 66 Road or some sort like
That
that.
did not happen in the city limits of Clinton, so I did not work that case.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
PXSCO fans and supporters, I will let you have that opinion on that call for yourself. Excuse me. But the reason why he was called is because after Mike Burgess had went to jail, are you listening to what I'm saying? After Mike Burgess had went to jail, finally being convicted of his sex trafficking ring that his buddies were probably in on, Michael Murley then became the head of the DA's office, you know. And Kenneth Tidwell then became the sheriff. Now they're both retired. It has been said that one of those officers that are retired has been spotted in El Reno, Oklahoma, working. Like I said, guys, most of these people just get slaps on the wrist and they move on with their life and fuck everyone else's that they fucked up. Long as they get what they want in the end and get to smell their fucking flowers. So, let's get into the next call. And Steve Moss was one of the individuals that had worked Priscilla Mcbrayer's case. He was actually the one to close her case within 24 hours, and he did not return Par Media's phone call. So let's get into the next call, which is Kenneth Tidwell, and he did respond to Par Media. Let's talk about it.
Hello?
Hello? Hi, is this Kenneth? Hello?
Hello?
Hi, is this
Hello?
is this Kenneth Tidwell?
It is.
Hi, I am a journalist with NWU NYC. My name is Dejan. I was just wondering if you had the time to answer a couple of questions for me for an article we're doing.
I don't know. What kind of article?
It's just a story that we're doing on this woman named Priscilla Mcbrayer. She was found on Route 66 Road, found hanging from her rearview mirror. And we're trying to follow up more on this story. It looks like at the time you were one of the officers that had was on scene. Based off the public information that I had got, do you have time to answer a couple of questions?
Well, not really. I'm at work right now. I remember the case, but I don't remember any real specifics about it.
Okay.
Gosh, how long ago was that? 15 years ago?
Yeah.
10 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been quite a while. Have you called? I no longer work for the agency that I was working for at the time. Have you tried calling them to?
Well, we're just calling like the people that were working, this case at the time, just to give us some information and clues on, how everything kind of went down. But
yeah, like I said, I don't remember a whole lot of specifics about it. I do remember that after my initial report, sometime after that, the district attorney asked the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation to investigate it.
Right, so they had took over the case at that time.
Right, yeah.
Okay. Well, I do want to ask you, when you guys had found her in her car, was she pronounced dead on the scene that you remember?
No. What I remember is that the ambulance had been there and they got her out of the vehicle and loaded her up and left before I even got there.
Right. And did the OSBI ever show up to the scene?
No, the OSBI investigated it several months later.
Mm-hmm. Right. And also, I just have one more question. At this time, was the sheriff, I guess his name is Mike Burgess, was he working in the field at this time?
Well, he was sheriff, but I mean, he wasn't present on the call.
Guys. Oh my God. Let me make sure. Hello, testing. Can y'all fucking hear me? This shit is wild. This shit is wild. Now, remind you, in the beginning of the call, I never stated to the ex-police officer, Kenneth, how long it had been, time-wise, since the incident had happened. And he all of a sudden remembers verbatim 15 years, spot on. Okay. Number 2. He proceeds to say, I didn't find the victim. I didn't find the victim. The ambulance had already got there and took her before I had even made it to the scene. But on the paperwork, it shows that you were the finder of the vehicle. You were the finder of the victim. So everyone just fucking up on paperwork and leaving information laying around? Okay. All right. Number 3. I'ma just shorten this up because you can listen to the call yourself and call bullshit. Honestly. Even a fucking 4-legged fucking fish could figure out that this situation is fucked. I proceeded to ask Kenneth, was Mike Burgess working? Was he present on the call? He proceeds to say, well, he wasn't on the call, but he was in the field. So he basically stated that this guy, who was supposed to be under suspension for a sex trafficking ring, was still working in the field. Are you serious? You're for real? Okay. So he basically confirmed that without confirming that. Okay, but also let's explain the 3-hour window from the time that the nurse was at the hospital with the victim, Priscilla Mcbrayer. Within that 3-hour window, how did the rape kit come up missing? How's the 911 call not traceable? I mean, why isn't the OSBI on the scene? Any crime scene that you see in any city, there is always going to be OSBI on the scene. Well, of course, in other cities, it's probably labeled something else, but here in Oklahoma is Oklahoma Bureau of Investigations, type of thing. So, I mean, why weren't they on the scene immediately? Why were they investigating months after this incident took place? But here's another plot twist. Part Media also contacted the OSBI, and they stated that the person that they said had worked the case no longer works there, and there are no records in their system that they had even went to that crime scene. No records. It never happened. So where's this imaginary OSBI? Was any of their partners playing like OSBI detectives and bullshitting around out here? I mean, these are people, loved ones, you know what I mean? So, I mean, what I can say is I am about to shake some fucking trees, and leaves are falling. Nuts are falling. Everything is fucking falling. Peaches, apples, everything is falling. Because if I am cracking this case and exposing them for all the wrong that they've done, no matter who has retired that was working at that time, no matter who has found a new job, no matter who's moved on with their life and moved to another state or another city, it does not matter. This is going to follow all of those people that were involved for the rest of their lives until they come forward, because no one's ever going to get a fair trial in court with information that's been destroyed or hidden and tucked away and flushed down the fucking toilet like it was a turd. I feel like even with these guys saying that they weren't involved or they didn't get their hands dirty, the information you know is basically an accessory to the crime. You might as well have gotten your hands dirty with the guys who did the damn dirt themselves. Let's just keep it 100. It's just like two kids riding around town together, and one's like, oh, I'm about to hit a lick on these people, and the other one's like, nah, bro, I'm gonna sit in the car, but that's cool, go ahead and go through with your plan. He's going to be held for accessory. Why? Because he was there and he knows what was going on, so he might as well have gotten his hands dirty too. But you know what? Let's go ahead and get into the next call, which was with the dispatcher, Frankie Patterson, who had received the phone call from the victim, Priscilla Mcbrayer, stating that she couldn't breathe. Let's talk about it.
Hello?
Hello? Hi.
Hello?
Hi, is this Frankie Patterson?
It's Frankie LaRue now.
I'm sorry?
It's Frankie LaRue.
Oh, okay. I was actually calling because I'm a journalist with NWU NYC, and we're doing an article on this case that had happened in Clinton, Oklahoma, and I was just seeing if Frankie had the time to answer a couple of questions.
Okay, what kind of questions?
So it looks like that Frankie, are you Frankie by chance?
I'm Frankie Patterson, but I remarried and my name's Frankie LaRue.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry about that.
That's fine.
And so it looks like you were one of the dispatchers that had taken a call for a woman. Her name was Priscilla Mcbrayer, and it looks like she was found hanging from her car in her rearview mirror. Looks like it happened around July 23rd, 2006. I was just wondering if you could tell me a little bit about what you remember about the call.
Oh, Lord, man, I wouldn't have no idea. That's several years ago.
Right. But does that case ring a bell?
Yeah, I think so. Was it on the on-ramp?
Yeah.
That's all I know. A nurse stopped by to help her out, and the guys got there. She wasn't deceased or nothing.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember the victim herself placing the phone call into you outside of the nurse that had called to get assistance with her?
Yes, she called 911. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
The victim did.
Okay. Well, we were trying to get access to that phone call, and we're having some trouble doing that. They're saying that
You have to subpoena for it.
Yeah, that's most definitely what's going on. And so my question is that just a normal, standard protocol that, anyone has to go through when it comes to things like that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So there's not really much anything else you can really remember?
No, not really.
Y'all know what? This is what PXSCO is here for. We are here for the truth. We are here for justice. You know what I mean? People of all race media. That is what we are here for. To point out evil shit like this. People who are sweeping shit under the rug. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's start off with how she presented her name. You know what I mean? She is Frankie Patterson. She was on the call. Of course, she stated that she remarried and her name is now Frankie LaRue. So, we got that basic information. She confirmed that who she was and who we were looking for. Now, when Par Media proceeded with this phone call, she states in the beginning that she does not remember anything about the case, the call that she dealt with or anything. But then she says, after I tell her, like, does it ring a bell? She's like, was it on the off ramp? So if you can remember that verbatim, you can remember the call you received from the victim. You can remember everything very vividly, I'm sure. Then she proceeds to laugh in a very, like, sarcastic demeanor, like why is this still being talked about? Like, who cares if this was swept under the rug? Like, it's been years ago. Like, why are people still talking about it? Like, as if it's bothering her, you know what I mean? But if you know information, Frankie, if you know information, you should come forward. Whoever it is that you guys are hiding or protecting, it's not worth it. You know what I mean? It's not. Just come forward. Just come forward, Frankie, because you obviously know something. I stated in the call, did she remember the victim calling? She stated, yes, I remember the victim placing the call, but would not tell me anything about the call, what she heard from the victim. The only thing she did confirm was that the nurse called, and you know what I mean? Based off the call with the nurse, it also seems like the dispatcher didn't even want to stay on the phone with her. Like, the nurse had to ask her, like, do you mind staying on the phone with me? Like, normally people that are dispatchers for, like, first responders and stuff, they're like, okay, stay on the phone with me until help gets there. It was just basically like, okay, I'll send someone your way, like, and just let it be what it is. And you can tell that Frankie Patterson was very, very, very non-empathetic towards the situation. She was like, she wasn't deceased or nothing, like, when they got there. So, like, why does it matter if you're calling me, type thing, you know what I mean?
But I am actually calling because we are doing this story on a lady named Priscilla Mcbrayer, and it seems as you were, I'm not sure, it looks like one of the witnesses that may have found this individual that was on the back road, I guess, hanging from her.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so, if you could just tell me a little bit about what you remember, you know, how you found the victim in her car.
Okay. Excuse me. Well, at that time, I was living in Clinton, Oklahoma, and I was working in Oklahoma City at the Children's Hospital, so I was heading up to work. I think I was going, like, it was like pretty late at night, and I really can't, it was dark. I don't know if it was like super early in the morning or just really late at night. I really can't remember. I think it was late at night. And I had was going around it was like the on-ramp onto the interstate, and
was this in Clinton? Was this in Clinton, Oklahoma, as you were getting onto the interstate?
Yes, I was in Clinton, just getting ready to get onto I-40.
Okay.
And this is Clinton has several, you know, entrances, exits, you know, on ramps and off ramps. This is the one that is farthest east of town. And as I was coming around the curve, I saw police and told them, you know, what I was seeing. And they said they were going to, you know, send somebody. But I was like, you know, I had gone up to while they were on the phone, I walked up to the car, and I could see someone in the driver's seat slumped over, and since the driver's seat was uphill,
Right.
and the car was almost completely onto its side, but not, you know, you wouldn't have dared get on the passenger side of it because it felt like it could very easily roll over onto you.
Right.
And so the car didn't seem stable at all. And so I saw someone in there, and I was like pounding on the window to see if they were okay. I couldn't tell if it was a male or female or anything like that at the time, and they didn't respond at all. So I was
Take
the
your
doors
time.
were locked, and I didn't have any dispatcher, like, you know, should I try to break the window? And because I was thinking this person needed, you know, some kind of medical assistance.
Right.
I was just kind of in that mode at the time, and she said, you know, that was fine. So I went back to my car. I was looking for something that I thought, you know, could break out the window.
And so at this time, there was not like even one window cracked or anything. Oh wow.
I mean, not that I could. Well, the passenger on the driver's side, no. On the passenger, I really don't know because, like I said, I think he would have had to kind of like lay down to access that side of the car.
Right.
You know, so I don't think so.
So you don't remember seeing like a big rope like through the window underneath the car, like it was to the exhaust pipe, like it was like.
I'm sorry, I'm driving right now on the interstate, and it's raining really heavily here. So I'm trying to pay attention to you.
No, you're
but
fine.
I can't hear you very well.
No, I
What did you
understand.
say?
I understand. It's raining here too. So there wasn't like a hose tied to her exhaust pipe through the window with like any leaking gas or anything of that sort that you remember?
Any hose?
Yeah,
What
like,
you saying?
yeah, do you remember seeing like a hose like tied to the exhaust pipe with gas leaking into her window? Okay.
No. And then, I had gotten my jumper cables, and that's what I was using to try and break open the window, but I couldn't, and about that time, the ambulance got there, and, they were able to, break open the window,
And this is all while you're trying to go to work, and you didn't even get to leave out of Clinton. You were just right
I'm
there.
sorry, what did you say?
I said, and this is all while you were trying to get on the interstate to leave out of Clinton. You didn't even get to get onto the highway, correct?
Right, exactly. It was kind of, it's just, there's a little curve that you go around, there's a hill, and that, I was going around the curve, and she had driven up the hill, the embankment.
Okay.
And then, whenever they, broke out the window, like, you couldn't open the door because it was been pretty much like lifting the door straight up, you know? You understand what I'm saying? Like, the car is almost on its passenger side.
Right.
Okay. So, after they broke the window out, then they were, like, just trying to, I just like one driver and one medical person, but she needed two-person CPR because she wasn't breathing, and she didn't have a heart rhythm, and so while one of the guys got behind the wheel of the ambulance, the other guy and I did CPR until we got to the hospital.
Right. Wow. And I can understand how traumatic not only this situation could have been for the family at that time, but you as a witness. You know, that is a lot on a human, you know, to have to see all of that, you know?
Yeah, it was just so strange, you know, the whole circumstances around it. And then I really never, you know, nobody ever came to me police-wise, you know, like nobody came and questioned me immediately afterwards. And so, like, I don't have a, you know, like a real clear, documented, you know, statement right after the occurrence.
Right, so the only
then,
thing
like,
you have is the phone call.
a couple of years later, a couple of OSBI detectives came to my house, and I'm like, it was years, I'm pretty sure.
Do you remember one of the detectives' names by chance?
Oh, no.
Right.
Have any
Understandable.
idea? They were
Understandable.
with the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation. It wasn't anybody local. I wouldn't have known who they were.
And so you didn't have anything else from them besides just the phone call that you placed as a citizen, you know, trying to help someone. That was pretty much it.
Right, yeah.
Wow. And
I mean, besides what my statement was to they took my statement then. They questioned me about it. You know, I'm sure then my memory's better than it is now.
understandable.
You know, now I remember even then it not being super clear. I just remember finding the car is the main thing. I found the car. The windows were, you know, dark and tinted. I couldn't see, you know, anybody in there. Looking at it, it looked like an accident just happened. I called, I can't remember if I called 911 or if I just called the police station. And they said they'd send somebody out. But I asked them to stay on the phone while I approached the car, you know, because it wasn't a familiar car to me or anything. And weird circumstances, so they stayed on the car, and then I was like, well, I'm going to try and break one of these, you know, windows out so I can get access to her. But she was supposed to stay on the phone, you know, while I did that. And then at some point, the The what?
The victim, family member, told me that she had actually came out of her coma after a while.
Oh, she did?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And she lived a year and 5 months after the event.
I wonder if maybe that was whenever I got the visit from the OSBI. You know, 'cause I know it had seemed like years, but, you know, that would be about right, probably, if it was, you know, a year and 5 months, and then probably before they got around to interviewing people, it probably been a couple of years. But that's been a long time. When was that?
July 23rd, 2006. Does that ring a bell? Can you hear me?
Sorry.
I said it was July 23rd, 2006.
She died November 6th, you said?
Oh, I'm sorry. She passed away September 7th of 2007, but the day that the event happened was July 23rd, 2006.
Okay. Yeah. Well, anyway, do you have any other questions for me? That's all you really read.
No, you're fine. Honestly,
Because I'm just coming up on that exit right now.
oh wow.
Driving from Oklahoma City back to Clinton. My family still lives out in Clinton.
Well, it's just crazy how So you were there for a little bit, and the family hadn't showed up at this time.
Right. Yeah, not while I was there. And I think I had one of my, because I had left my car there, at the scene, and then I had a family member come and pick me up and take me back to get my car, and then I went off to work. Which I think, I'm pretty sure that's kind of typical of what I was doing at that time. I was, the hospital was providing me a place to stay at this, at like a hotel, and so I would go up, like the night before, get all ready for the next 3 days, and sleep that day and then go in that night. I would go the night before, sleep during the day, and then just get up and go to the hospital. So, I just thought it was really strange but maybe it was because she hadn't died, that maybe they would have investigated it more if she had, passed up the scene or what, but I just felt like it was, because I don't think she was in the, I don't think she was ever conscious enough to, tell what had happened or anything like that after that night.
Well, I did interview one of the victim's close family members, and the victim actually came out of her coma.
The what?
The victim, family member, told me that she had came out of her coma after a while.
Oh, she did?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And she lived a year and 5 months after the event.
I wonder if maybe that was whenever I got the visit from the OSBI. Because I know it had seemed like years, but, that would be about right, probably, if it was, a year and 5 months, and then probably before they got around to interviewing people, it probably been a couple of years.
Right.
But that's been a long time. When was that?
July 23rd, 2006. Does that ring a bell?
I'm sorry?
I said it was July 23rd, 2006.
She died November 6th, you said?
Oh, I'm sorry. She passed away September 7th of 2007, but the day that the event happened was July 23rd, 2006.
Okay. Yeah. Well, anyway, do you have any other questions for me? That's all you really read.
No, you're fine. Honestly,
Because I'm just coming up on that exit right now.
oh wow.
Driving from Oklahoma City back to Clinton. My family still lives out in Clinton.
Well, it's just crazy how God
And I
works.
never get on
Right.
that lady.
All right, my beautiful people, I'm glad you're back from the break. I hope I didn't lose you too much. Stay with me. So fast forward, the family still receives no justice. At this point, the daughter is, picking up the pieces of her life and moving forward. Now, it's January 8th, 2022, okay? And the daughter of Priscilla Mcbrayer decides, I'm going to release my teaser for my movie. Let the whole world kind of see what I'm working on, So then that next day, she decides on January 8th,
I'm gonna release this teaser. She releases it, and that very same day, she has some family out in California, in, you know, western Oklahoma, and they're arguing on social media with her sperm donor. And, you know, it's just arguments and stuff are taking place while so many good vibes are going. Now, this is where shit get crazy, okay? The next day, after Desire Mcbrayer decides to release the teaser, she goes to the park with her nieces, and she's hanging around, you know, Lincoln Edition, waiting for her family members to get in town so she can take care of some business. And at this point, you know, this is something that she normally does. You know, she spends a lot of time with her nieces and nephews, and, you know, just family, surrounds herself with family. And so at this time, you know, she sees her cousin pulls up, and then her sperm donor pulls up next to him, and so they exchange money and stuff, or whatever they were doing. They were talking and exchanging money and stuff. Desire Mcbrayer is sitting on the top of her car, okay? She's already peeping the scene. She's alerted. You know, she's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, you know what I mean? So the sperm donor then tries to approach Desire in a very aggressive demeanor, you know? And the daughter, she gets off of her car because she's chilling, she's smoking, good vibes, you know? She gets off of her car. She's like, what the fuck? You know, what's going on? He's trying to grab her and shit. Like, I didn't kill your mom. I didn't kill your mom. Like, that's the first thing that came out of his mouth, okay? Now, before I go further into this, anyone who has not had a good relationship with their parents, you know, normally that is not the first thing that most parents would just come out and say randomly. You know what I mean? Even if that child has lost a parent, that's not something that a parent would say. Most people wouldn't volunteer information that you didn't ask for. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what the situation was with that. Now, I'm going to let you guys listen to this call. But just to let you know, it is very gruesome. It is very triggering. You know, so just bear with me. I'm going to let you guys listen to it. But the thing is, the big idea about this whole situation is she hasn't talked to her sperm donor 15 plus years, and he's never been there for her. He's never cared for her. You know, she's always had her mother and her grandmother and other people on her mom's side of the family. So it's like, what do you have to talk to her about now that she's like 24, 23 years old, and she's making a documentary about her mom, and this is the first thing that you've said to her in 15 plus years. So the daughter decides, you know, after the whole situation went down, she wants to try and go ahead and get a protective order put in place, you know, because obviously this motherfucker got some chemical imbalance going on in his head, you know, fucking delusional, illiterate, you know, all of the above, because that's not how a parent acts. So, of course, you know, his name has been on a couple of papers. You know, he's the only one in the Lincoln Edition that hasn't went to jail. He's known for being Master Splinter with a long tail, you know. So the judge ruled in his favor, you know what I mean? She did not rule in the daughter's favor. She didn't look at the bigger picture like, okay, this man is, she didn't know anything about him, you know what I mean? He didn't know anything about her. He didn't have no right to be approaching her and stuff, you know what I mean? But let's go ahead and get into this call. It's about 8 minutes long.
It's not a call, it's a recording. I'm used to saying call. But let's go ahead and get into this recording, and I'll let you hear that. It's about 8 minutes long. So yeah, let's just go ahead and check it out, and then after, let's talk about it.
I came to get when you're making a false allegation on me, that's not going to work. When you're making a false allegation, not with a false allegation, you know.
Okay, well, you can get in your car.
Not with a false allegation, you know. Not with a false allegation. Like I said.
If you don't agree with what I'm saying,
I didn't say nothing about agreeing with
if it don't fit.
I did not say nothing about agreeing with you, Desire. I didn't say nothing about agreeing with you.
Desire.
Nothing about that. And you're not understanding. You're not understanding. You're not understanding. You're not understanding.
Been in my way, my nigga. Mondera, stop talking to me. He pissing me off.
That was your
Bitch.
choice. That was your
Desire.
choice. You made that choice. You made that
Desire, get in the car.
Get the fuck out of my face. Get out of my face. Whatever guilty conscience that you're living, you wouldn't even go to Steve Wilcox and take a lie detector test. Y'all didn't let the FBI talk to you.
They never came to get me.
I have fingerprints on who was on the scene.
I don't got it.
So
I ain't did nothing
what
to
you
your
talking
mama.
about? I don't listen to
I
my
didn't do
family.
nothing to your
Evidence
mama,
is
man,
actual,
boo.
factual.
I ain't doing nothing to your mama.
I didn't say you did.
My
All I
daddy
said,
never questioned
all I
you.
said is
She was
I have
fucking
evidence.
on.
All I said is I have
She was
evidence.
fucking on the
You're
law.
down here because
Why you
you
not
did
down
it.
there with him?
Why are you in my
Why
face?
you not
Get the
down
fuck out of my
there
face, bro.
questioning
Get in the
niggas
car.
who's fucking on down there? That's the nigga who did it.
Get the fuck off of me.
Y'all stop fighting.
Desire,
No.
stop. What are you doing?
Don't fight your girl over me.
What are you
Don't fight
doing?
her.
You are being weird.
Don't fight. Don't fight. Don't fight. Y'all
Give
don't
me
fight.
my-
Stop. Y'all don't fight. I'ma go.
Can you just leave?
Fuck out of my face, bitch.
Desire,
Get off of me.
Don't.
Linda, leave. Fuck off me. Linda, leave.
Bitch.
Linda, get off of her. All right, Linda, get off of her. Get off of her. Hand up, what the fuck? Quit fighting. Get off of her. Get off of her. Get off of her. Get off of her. Get the fuck off. Get up, stupid.
That's how you did my mama.
You a goddamn
It
liar.
felt so good,
You a
didn't it?
dumbass
I
liar.
know it did. That's why you down here.
I
It
won't
felt
do it
so
like I
good,
just
didn't
did.
it?
We
Man,
move.
strangle
I won't do
me
it like that.
like you did
I
her
won't do that.
with that bungee
Get in the
cord.
car.
Fucking bitch.
Turn the car off.
It felt good, didn't it? Just how you strangled
Can
her.
you leave?
When you see
Why are you still
You
here?
got her eyes, and you smiled, and you raped her. You buried her alive, and you took the police.
Linda,
And
can you
then
get off of my car and
And
leave?
you took Virginia for 3 years. It felt so
You know
good.
you made that shit up.
I know it felt good to you.
You made that shit up.
To relive that moment just
Get
then.
it up and holler at that nigga she was fucking on.
Linda, can you leave?
That's why you killed her.
That husband is the
But
one that did
bitch,
it.
she lived a year
That is the one
after.
she was fucking on 2 niggas.
And she told us before she left that you did it, bitch. She blinked her eyes twice for that. It felt so good, didn't it? I know it did. To choke me how you did her with that bungee cord before you buried her alive. I know it did.
No. Stop before you hit that car.
If you hit my car, you told me.
Why are you down here? Stop. Sit down. It ain't no use to calling the police. Because they just gonna kill me like you did.
Go call him.
I thought you was leaving.
I ain't going to. I
That's
told you
why
I
he
ain't
came
going
down here, Johnny. He came down here to put his hands on me like he did my mama. Oh, it felt so good choking me, didn't it? It felt so good choking me, didn't it? It felt good, didn't it? To relive that motherfucker.
Can you get him away from here? Please?
Your husband just choked me,
You don't want to. You jumped on me, bitch.
and it felt
If
good
you
to
jump on
him.
me again, I'm going
It
to
felt
beat your
so
eyeballs
good
out
to
your
him.
face.
It felt so good for him
That's
to
what you
relive
better
that
be
moment. He
That's
came
what you
down
better be
here.
happy for. You
It
better
felt
be
so
out there and
good.
beat your hair up.
It felt so good, didn't it?
That's what you better be
It
doing.
felt good, didn't it? It felt good. It felt good. Look at my eyes. I'm my mama, the last one. You gonna have to look at me and her name
Every time
forever.
you gonna see me,
It
baby.
felt good, didn't it?
Every time.
It felt good, didn't it?
Every time.
It felt good.
And when you jump
To
on me, it
relive
felt
that
good.
moment.
Oh my God, can you just go? Why did you come down here?
That's I told her.
My mama is happy right now. I know she is.
Get in the
Prove
car.
yourself. That's
Get
what
in
the
the
fuck you
car.
came down here for, to try to kill me like you did her, bitch.
Get in the car.
Felt so good. Your daddy ain't shit. He put his hands on a woman.
Nobody else quit. Nobody else can stop me from getting in.
Move.
No, you just like your daddy.
I look like my mommy.
Your daddy.
You mad? I'm gonna live forever. Forever. It felt so good to choke me, huh?
What's going on?
I know it did. Your daddy choked me. You know that?
No, leave her alone.
Look what he did to a woman. Don't ever be with a man like that, baby. Don't ever be with a man like that, baby. Ariana, I love you, baby. Don't be with a man like that. Don't be with a man like that. Ever. Look what he did to your sister. It felt so good, didn't it? It felt good. Relive this moment. Cause I will get justice and kingdom. It felt good, didn't it? I know it did. That's why you came down here. That's why you came down here. That's why you came down here.
He's behind us.
He's behind me, you old motherfucker.
Desire, stop. He was just asking. Stop it.
It felt good, I know. I know. But I'm not that bitch that's gonna go to social media with it. God know and I know, and you know. It felt good, I know it did. To choke me. To choke me like you did her with that bungee cord. Oh my God. Oh my God, you relived that day. Today you did. You get a round of applause. Broke ass nigga. You get a round of applause. It felt good, didn't it? It felt good, didn't it? It felt good. Cause I look like her. And you relive that moment. You get a round of applause. My mom is so happy right now at you. You relive that moment. You relive that moment. You know and I know. You relive that moment. You came down here to fight me. Pussy ass nigga and you mad. Pussy ass nigga and you mad. My dick is bigger than yours. My dick is bigger than yours.
Get in the car.
Bitch took off on you twice. Fuck you gon' do. Fuck you gon' do. Fuck you gon' do. May I kick a little something for the G's and have a little something for the week and hey bitch, pussy ass nigga. Pussy ass nigga. Pussy ass nigga.
Malia.
Pussy ass
Get
nigga.
in that damn face.
It felt so good. I know it did.
Chill down, please.
No.
She always crying.
No.
That's too much, dude.
Why the fuck when he get out my face when I told him I'm not the same bitch he needed to approach when I was 10 years old? I'm laughing from a good place, bitch.
Can you get in the car? Get in the car.
You still here, bitch. You still here. I know you're happy. Congratulations, bitch, because that's what you came down here for, ho.
Quit playing.
That's what you came down here for, ho. It felt so good to him, Chanel. You gotta lay next to that nigga every night, bitch.
Scoot over, I'm driving.
No, I'm driving. Still cute though. I gotta film Wednesday and I'm gonna do this shit with on my face. Bitch still bad. As fuck. Anybody got a cigar? I need one.
This document that you are looking at here is a protective order that the daughter of Priscilla Mcbrayer previously tried to, get held in place against her father, Orlando Williams, due to her attacking her and, trying to kill her and etc. and stuff. And so this document that you are looking at here is real case information that is attached. It shows that it was dismissed. And here in this next clip, you're going to see the reason why the judge dismissed it and found, it not a plausible cause.
So guys, that was a lot to take in. Trust me, I fucking know. And if you know, you know. But we are going to go ahead and move through this quickly so that way I can go ahead and give you guys part 2 all in one so you can connect the dots as I already have. Now, like I said, that call was gruesome, raw, and uncut. As I am giving you my footage, raw and uncut, no editing, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, the judge ruled in the father's favor. She did not find it, like, you know, she didn't find it any good enough reason to hold a protective order, you know what I mean, in place for the child. Now, if she would have went back records and seen that he tried to get the child as soon as the mother had passed away, even though he wasn't there before the mother passed away, you know, the judge would have seen that he tried to get custody of the child and was not a fit parent to do so. So he has a long rep sheet, you know what I'm saying? If she did her fucking research, which I'm sure she has, but like I said, master splinters can get in places that others can't, that other real motherfuckers won't, you know what I'm saying? So the daughter is doing good. She's doing fine. She is living her fucking life. I can most definitely give you guys that update. She's doing perfectly fine. Now, I'm going to leave all of opinions and comments up to my fans and supporters. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. I'm not going to get too much into that because, like I said, there's so much to cover. So let's get into the next part. All right, and so on the left-hand side here, you have Orlando Williams, which is the aggressor to Desire Mcbrayer. And on the right-hand side, you have his wife that has stuck through his side through all of the bad and ugly, Shania Williams. And she is the one that approached the scene very nonchalant, like there was nothing going on, as if this wasn't her first rodeo, you know. So they proceed to go to court as well as the daughter. And he's in there lying through his teeth, and she's just sitting there riding along with it, like, my man's telling the truth type shit. So the judge then dismisses Miss Mcbrayer, and these two proceed to sit in the courtroom and like finish talking to the fucking judge. Like, are you guys still, what's his name, Master Splinter? Are you still Master Splinter? Look like we got two Master Splinters. You know what I'm saying? What are y'all still sitting in the courtroom for, talking to the judge after she's already dismissed the case and didn't find it? It's mind blowing. You know what I mean? Like, places people can get just for snitching, working for law enforcement. We just gonna say it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this woman here, she looks like she knows a lot. Look at her face. Look at her. So, yeah, most definitely, she knows something. She knows a lot, you know, because someone like her would not stick around with a man like that at all and not know anything or seen him get his hands dirty or bloody. So, let's get into the next case. Let's talk about it.
If you fuck with me, you'll find a way. Don't need no whack ass soft.
Just a sport Priscilla.
Just fucking wait till I blow. And when I do, I don't wanna hear. I knew you was gonna make it, bro. I've been ducked off, I've been fucked up. Tryna call my phone, get down talk. If you fuck with me, you'll find a way. Don't need no whack ass iPhone.
Just a sport Priscilla who support that.
Just fucking wait till I blow. And when I do, I don't wanna hear. I knew you was gonna make
And
it.
on the top left, we have Priscilla Mcbrayer. In the middle, we have Janel Jennings. At the top right, we have Orlando Williams and Shania Williams. Okay, so now around this time that Priscilla Mcbrayer had gotten into her incident, you know, with being in a coma and everything, Janel Jennings then comes out and states that her youngest child is Orlando Williams. Now, Janel Jennings is the baby mother of Priscilla Mcbrayer's brother. Now, Shania Williams
at the time was friends with one of Priscilla Mcbrayer's nieces. They always used to party together, do everything together. They were really close. So immediately when that incident had happened to Priscilla, she stopped talking to her niece. Like, immediately cut her off, didn't talk to her, looked down, you know, would not say anything, you know, didn't give her a reason why she cut her off. And that was really weird to the niece because they were very close friends. They told each other everything, you know. They vented to each other and stuff. So, fast forward, time goes on, Janae Jennings then states, my youngest child is Orlando Williams. Now, this child would have been born around the time of this incident. Now, I can't quite understand why Shania would stick around with a man who then, in 2021, recent time, admits that, oh, I've been sleeping around with you, on you, with this other woman, and we have a baby together. Until this day, she's still with him, by his side, you know, cleaning up his dirt and stuff, and it's just a really big mess. And so, you know, we cannot understand why they wanted to get rid of Priscilla when she didn't even want the baby father. You know, he just claimed, oh, I'll be there for her, I'll be there for her. She would have let him be there for the child, but she did not want to be with him. And he had that kind of demeanor towards Priscilla Mcbrayer where, if I can't have you, nobody can, you know, type demeanor. So there is a lot going on that is deeper than all of us, you know what I mean? Like, these two women, they know something, you know? They know something. They wouldn't stick around and not know anything.
That is the end of PXSCO Crime Podcast. Also, with the media that reports the good shit to you, PAR Media. People of All Race Media, the one and only, baby. So I really, really, really appreciate you guys for supporting my content, just even coming here to check out my content and listening to what I have to say, the truth that I have to speak. You know what I mean? As a journalist, this is my true mission, to communicate information to the public, and it does not stop here. It does not stop here. So, much love, and I hope everyone has a good day / night, you know, especially for my hustlers. If you're working 12-hour shifts and you're getting off and your nighttime is morning, vice versa, whatever. Have a good day, guys. Good fucking vibes. Don't let no one ruin it or stop you from doing anything you want to fucking do. You will be hearing more from PXSCO Podcast. Good night, babies.
Being my own fan, what's the biggest cloud I ever love? These people with they boo and they fake love. Always posting, looking for some validation. I don't feel late, ain't got no time for no complications. Sometimes I'm in my feelings, staring at the ocean, viewing niggas.